This chapter has got me very internally conflicted. On one hand, we get a lot of important information that needs to be discussed, and then we get some information that has me so incredibly annoyed I want to curse so much, but I don't know if I can, so I won't. And most importantly, we see things that I suppose are a very dark side effect of war that we haven't really seen before, but I think it's also important that we do see it and that the reactions to this type of stuff. And I really hope you guys agree with me on this. And so Kingdom fans, before we get into it, I just wanted to say welcome to All About Kingdom, and let's get into it. So with the first thing that annoys me in this chapter is Go-Hye deciding to retreat after receiving word of the fall of Shin. Sure, the whole point of the Gaimu fighting right now is to stop the fall of Shin, and with Shin falling, then it may seem pointless to continue. But look at it this way. Earlier on, we see both Go-Hye and Gaimo were happy to fight Wuhan because of their loss to him at Choyu, and they wanted revenge for the loss of the Wayfire Dragons Reo and Earl Shi. And not to mention the fact that Wuhan is arguably just as much a threat as our favorite general Shin, and look at the advantage they have right now. It's two Wayfire Dragons outnumbering Wuhan, obviously 2-1, in troops. Odds of their success in taking Wuhan's head is reasonably high. And that's not to underplay Wuhan and his skills. If it was one-on-one with Gaimu, whichever, I can see Wuhan coming off of a victory. If it's one-on-one versus Go-Hye, I'm going to make it 50-50 if I'm being real with you. But that's irrelevant. Another way of looking at it, not only is Wuhan a deadly threat, but as you can see by the king of Wei, Qi Bin, sweating a lot in this panel, he knows that Wei is probably going to be the next target you have to imagine. Go-Hye also knows this. So isn't removing an opponent like Wuhan from the game board a great idea? Or did Go-Hye make the decision to preserve Wei forces for the fight that's going to be coming? We'll know soon enough, I suppose, but at the same time, I can't for the life of me understand why he would pass up this almost perfect opportunity to take Wuhan out of the game. It's just ridiculous to me, to be honest. Now the second thing, which may not be as important but still worth mentioning, is us seeing the Qi King Wu Ken's reaction to the news of the fall of Han. So in case you don't know, years ago the King of Qi made a deal with the King of Qin, Sei, and in this deal he said if Sei can conquer the 5 other states, he will surrender the country of Qi to him peacefully. But this is a deal he clearly didn't inform his council or his advisors or whoever they are about, because we can see how their reaction to the Han royal family surrendering, and they're basically just calling them a bunch of fools and idiots. But at the same time, I can understand why he didn't tell them. As you can imagine, there's going to be a lot of backlash. He might just be dethroned, or there might be a key coup. You never know. But you can clearly see he is interested to see how the people of Han react and are treated in response to their surrender, so he can maybe predict how his people will act when and if the time comes for him to surrender the country of Qi. He even praises the Han royal family for their courage. And you know what? I have to say, he may be, let's just call him a weird person, but he has always been a good king, and he has always shown that he cares for his people, so we can't judge him too harshly. Now this is the most important part of the chapter in my opinion. If not, then my last point definitely will be. So sadly, we see the dark side of conquering, and no, I'm not talking about the pillaging, death, destruction, fire, warfare, whatever you want to call it, as we normally see in some cases. But we see for the first time in the manga, as far as I can remember anyway, complete and utter despair and hopelessness. We see several Han citizens unaliving themselves in this chapter. As for why, we can't really say, but you can definitely assume that it has to do with the fall of Han. And I want to remind you all of my past video about the last chapter. I'll leave a link for it up in the corner and at the end of the video, but I talked about Shin's reaction to taking Shin, and I'm starting to think he sensed the misery in the city as soon as he entered, and that's why he had such an underwhelming reaction to it. And also there's the fact that Kyokai and Kyorei sensed this also, but didn't understand it either, until just now. But we see Kyorei showing her more human side and to be honest with you, it's refreshing. Especially when you remember how she started out as a, let's just call her a problemed individual, to say the least. But I have to say, with this makes it a very dark chapter. Now, I like to see Yasuhi Sahara writing about this aspect of war and being so anti-unaliving, showing that even the characters with the coldest of hearts can show they're upset to such a horrible act. And actually, this just came to me now. The lord of the city of Gyo in Zhao also jumped off a rooftop after losing the city, but he was the lord of the city, so I can understand why he jumped. He'd be the equivalent of the royal family in Han. But as far as we know, actually, I was going to say there are no citizens in Gyo that jumped, but at the same time, Gyo didn't have any citizens left in it. So my point is actually kind of pointless now, isn't it? And all this brings me to the one thing in this chapter that infuriates me to the point of actual anger, and it's a single panel. And I think you all know the one I'm talking about. At least you know if you've read the chapter. We are told that Rakugo Khan and the soldiers he took with him were completely wiped out. Now, the only other information we were given about this battle was that it was Rukyomi that led the army that did the deed, and that many soldiers had already abandoned the Rakugo Khan army before the battle even began because they weren't die-hard warriors. And I don't even know what way to react to this news, if I'm being honest with you. The fact that we won't get a Rakugo Khan final battle is a major disappointment. I genuinely hoped that Toh was going to give the job of finishing Rakugo Khan to Shin, so Shin can prove that he can take on the likes of great generals, because even though Rakugo Khan couldn't defeat Toh, we have to admit he was still a very deadly opponent. Now, what I think annoys me the most is just the fact that it was Rukyomi that got to battle Rakugo Khan. I mean, why Rukyomi? Yes, he's the first army commander of the Toh army, and he's definitely no pushover. I'm not saying he's weak or anything, but why? I think we all wanted it to be Shin that dealt the final blow. And I just gotta say that Rakugo Khan getting killed off screen is just a devastating story choice by Yasuhi Sahara. I feel like it's lazy writing, which is something he doesn't normally do, so either Hara has something big coming up, he has future plans to show the battle upon Rukyomi's return, or he might have just never liked the character of Rakugo Khan and just want to get rid of him altogether. Now, the only silver line to this is that we have not received confirmation about the death of Rakugo Khan. He could have escaped, we don't know. Though I do feel like his death will be confirmed within the coming chapters if he was killed. But until then, it is absolutely possible we could see a return of Rakugo Khan in the future if we hear he escaped. And I'm genuinely hoping this is the case. I don't care if he rejoins Yoko and Han, or some other military like Ki or Chu, possibly even Wei. I think we just need to see more of him. He is just too good of a character to waste and just kill him off like that. It's actually so annoying. I'm trying not to like shout and yell, but I'm genuinely annoyed after reading it. But yeah guys, this is pretty much all I have to say about this chapter. It was a lot of different developments packed into the one chapter, and it leaves the story open to a lot of different developments in the coming chapters. And I hope to God we are not about to get a political arc, because I struggle to care about those, and I struggle to read those even, if I'm being honest with you. And so guys, if you made it this far into the video, I hope you enjoyed it, and so please feel free to smash that like button down below, drop me a comment. I would love to hear all your thoughts, and you may as well hit that subscribe button also, so you don't miss any new information about Kingdom. Looking forward to seeing you in the next one, Kingdom fans.